So we'll just see what exactly is event binding. So event is nothing but it is based upon certain conditions and criteria you're performing certain task. So events are associated with the elements, like for example, if you have a button, it is a button click event. Then click event, if you have a text box, it may be a change event. If it is a select box, it is a click event, a radio button. If it is a checked event, a checkbox check event. So many events are blur events. So many events are there. So based upon certain tasks or certain actions which we perform on the elements, HTML elements, we have some sort of events. So now how do we bind the properties to an event, and how do we pass the data from the component when a certain event occurs in a template? So we'll just see that how exactly we can just use that particular event. So now how do we represent that particular event? So now let us just go to the okay. So here I'll just take one input type is equal to button. So I'll just give input type is equal to button. Value is equal to click here. So I just give input type is equal to button, value is equal to click here. So you can just see this particular button. So when I click on this particular button, so I need the data that it should be passed from the component to the template. So how exactly that? So it can help us in two ways. One is property binding. You can set a property binding to the view, and then the event can be binded with the help of the class. So even here, you cannot say totally it is a two-way binding. You can just tell it as a one-way binding itself. That is generally an event binding, because the data from the component is being sent to the template. Okay, so how do we represent this? So we need to represent, so the properties, that is whenever you're using the property binding, you were using the square bracket. Now for just representing the event binding, we will be okay. What exactly we will be doing is, when you click on this particular button, we want certain actions to be performed. So how do we specify this? For property binding, we will use a square bracket. For an event binding, we'll just use the parenthesis. So we need to write within the parenthesis, we need to write the event that whatever we are trying to represent it. So how do we specify this? So we'll just go to the component class. So here I'll write one particular method. When I click on that particular button, I need to execute this particular method. So I'll just write a method public. I'll just take it as OnClick as the event, that is the method name. So here within the method, I'll just write some content to be displayed. So I'll just write an console only, console.log. Welcome to the event. So I'm just writing some message here. Welcome to the event. So this is the message which I have written. So now this particular message, I need this particular method, I need to bind it with my HTML part of it. So here what I'll do is, I'll just write within the parenthesis, what is the event name? But for button, it is click event. So I'll just tell click is equal to, then I'll just write the method name. So what is the method name? OnClick. OnClick is the method name which I have declared. So I'll just write input click is equal to OnClick. Then this is the type of button, value is equal to the control. I'll put it in. Okay, so I have just written this. So now I'll just click on this so that we'll just see that. Something else. So you can just see here, I'm just clicking on this. So you can just see welcome to the event. So what exactly is happening here? So in the component, I have written a method called as OnClick, where I have just written welcome to the event part of it. So when I'm calling this OnClick, so that is the click event always should be in parenthesis, and I'm calling this particular method. So now when I just click on this, you can see welcome to the event. So this is how you can just represent the click event. So now one thing is now I'm putting it in the console. So now I just want it within the browser. So what I should do if I want within the browser? So now it is displaying welcome to event in the console application. I want just below this. So what I should do? I'll just take some paragraph or something like this. And then what is the changes that I should do here? I'll declare one variable public greet. So I'll just give a public greet, and then here I'll just some message welcome. Okay, then instead of this, so greet equal to no already greet is there. No, I have given this. So now what I need to do here on this particular method, this dot r, I can just even give like this also. So what I can do is I can just initialize this here, and I can just give this dot greet equal to welcome to Angular. So I can just give some sort of a message like this, say this, and within this component here, I can just give greet. Just execute it. It should just display welcome to Angular. So you can see that is welcome to Angular. So what I have done is I have declared a variable. Here I initialized nothing. I have not initialized. Within this particular method, I have just given welcome to Angular. So when I call this particular method, it will execute this. So but the value has been initialized to this particular value has been assigned to this property. So I'm just using the interpolation and calling that, invoking that particular property. I'm binding that property. So you are able to see welcome to Angular when I click on this particular button. So is this clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
whenever you are using any of the events, you see that the event is written within the parenthesis and you are invoking the method. Fine. So event binding will be using parenthesis. Property binding will be using square bracket. Interpolation will be using double curly braces.
Ma'am, please once again give a quick review on that.
Pardon me?
Ma'am, please repeat it once again.
Okay. So now here, I am just using an event binding. So for a button, when some event should take place. So when the button will perform an action, when I click on this particular button, the button will perform certain action. So what I did is I have written a method called as OnClick method. When I'm on the click method, I have declared one variable called as get, which is and I have not initialized anything here. Here I'm assigning the value to the property get. This dot get is equal to welcome to Angular. So this I'm assigning a value to this property get, and utilizing this property in this particular method on click. So now in the HTML, I wanted to bind that. So when I click on it, it should call that particular method on click. So whenever you are writing any event like on change event, on mouse move, on mouse over, any event, it should be written in parentheses. So I am putting it in a parenthesis. So click is an event, on change event, on what is that, on mouse over, on focus, like this. So based upon the events what we have performed, the event should be written in the parenthesis is equal to on click. So what is on click? On click is nothing but it is the method which has been written in the TS file, that is a class file. So now, and where is the value stored? The value is stored for the property get. So I'm invoking the property get with the help of the int